Okay. Also, to let people understand that I am not an idiot and that I can, think for myself, I am not disagreeing with Gotta Be Kidding Me, or You Heard Me First Time in regards to racial hierarchy existing. But it's funny how the backdrop of highlighting racial hierarchy has to come up with what black men are doing, because it doesn't really apply. We can apply the whole idea of racial hierarchy to so many other different walks of life and different genres that we come across. In regards to the context of explaining racial hierarchy, we can talk about it in academics, we can talk about it in professional America, we can talk about it in regards to finance, we can talk about it in regards to religion. There's so many different backdrops that we can talk about racial hierarchy. But to see it only be explained in regards to what black men are choosing and who are choosing to date, it's to me, that's not cutting it. That's not, in my opinion, thinking outside the box and really speaking to a bigger issue. Because it doesn't even hold up. In regards to men dating up, that is not something men typically do. We don't date up. The only time I really see dating up happening is even between a race. Okay, so the whole idea of a black man dating up with a non-black woman isn't going to happen. That is typically something that we find inside of the race. Typically. Right, but even then, it's not as hard to do coming from a male's point of view. So the whole backdrop of explaining racial hierarchy under that context doesn't hold up. I understand everything everybody's saying. I've read a lot of the comments. I've watched You Heard Me First Time. I watched your videos. I make sure I pay careful attention to what people are trying to say, and I try to more so pay attention to the spirit of their video. Right, because we're not perfect, but I tend to understand what somebody's really trying to convey, even if they really can't get it out in that manner. So once again, no one's trying to say it doesn't exist, but people want to act as if talking about black men with non-black women somehow is the greatest example to show racial hierarchy, when in reality it is the wackest, for lack of a better word, the wackest example to highlight racial hierarchy, because it doesn't exist. We do not have that luxury of dating up. So I don't want people to get me wrong and act as if, me and Gotta Be Kidding Me are disagreeing off of racial hierarchy, and Pink Elephant is saying that there is no racial hierarchy. I spent plenty of videos talking about racial hierarchy, not in those words, but in terms of what's going on. Y'all just not there. For a lot of you guys just don't comment on those videos or watch those videos. But it's something that I've been talking about for a very long time. I mean, we can talk about racial hierarchy and everything, even in terms of the criminal justice system. We can talk about it in so many different backdrops. Right? But to talk about it in regards to what black men are doing with, non-black women and that whole racial hierarchy is bullshit. If anything, that's more so an issue with black women. Talking about how they need to get with successful white men because it elevates their status. This is what other black women have said. So why not explain racial hierarchy in that backdrop? Why talk about what black men are doing? We don't have that luxury. Y'all not going to feed me bullshit and expect me, not to say anything or call anything out. Racial hierarchy does exist. So let's, why don't we talk about how racial hierarchy affects other walks of life, instead of trying to adapt it as a deflection in regards to the issues that black men and women are having. So I'll leave it there. Y'all take it easy. God bless.